Our culture is overwhelmed by bad ideas. I'm Renan Barkana, and I want to present a simple story that can help restore common sense. Consider two scenarios. Scenario 1, a teacher tells his class, next Tuesday is your big math exam. That's it. Scenario 2 is the same, except the teacher adds one more thing. Everyone will get a B no matter how they do on the exam. Let's compare the two scenarios, starting with a couple questions. Question 1. Which case will produce better math students? In scenario 1, a strong math student who can get a B without studying will be motivated to study and practice in order to get an A. A weak student will not want to risk failing and will study in order to achieve, say, a C. In scenario 2, any student who considers studying will feel like a sucker. Why should I study if I'll get a B in any case? What's the point? So the potential A student will stay at a B level of proficiency, and the weak student will be a borderline F. Obviously, everyone will be weaker in math under scenario 2. And students will be getting the message that knowing math isn't really that important. Question 2. Which scenario is more fair? One might argue that everyone getting a B is fair because it's equal. But consider two equally talented students. One of them studies long hours until she can easily solve every math problem in the book, while the other spends the week partying. Is it just to give both of them the same grade? No. Will that encourage a partier to study? Obviously not. But what about someone who is weak in math? Why should he get a bad grade? That might make him feel bad. Well, is there a solution that won't cause the entire class to avoid studying? Yes. The teacher could guarantee at least a B, so good students would still study in order to get an A, but weaker students who think they don't have a shot at an A would not be motivated to make any effort to learn math. Is there an even better solution? Yes. The teacher could offer extra after-class hours to help the weaker students. That way, weak students will study and learn even more, and without the negative effect of discouraging anyone from studying. Grades have additional advantages. A reward for studying doesn't only motivate people to study, it gives a feeling of accomplishment and fulfillment to those who do study and succeed as a result. And grades help both individuals and society match people to the best path corresponding to their abilities and strength. Those weaker in math might be better suited for psychology than physics. But if everyone gets a B, how can anybody know? Imagine if Mozart had been a physicist and Newton a composer. Society would be far worse off. Let's summarize. This example is about students and grades, but the conclusions are much more general for human society. Education 101. To produce educated children, they must be rewarded for studying, and similarly for hard work, good behavior, etc. If they find studying hard, they should receive extra support, but they must not be rewarded for not studying. That, predictably, will result in lazy kids who are great at wasting their time. Economics 101. People respond very strongly to incentives. In the above example, students will be motivated to study if rewarded by grades. However, they will be pushed to laziness if the reward is taken away. In a similar way, financial reward drives the economy forward. This brings us to Public Policy 101. In considering any government policy, it is critical to consider not just the immediate effect, but also the resulting incentives. As in this example, if you help people, it will make them feel better, but if you do it in a way that rewards failure, it will result in more laziness and thus more failure. And over time, this can bring down the entire society. Now, this doesn't mean that you punish or ignore people who fail. On the contrary, you should support people in difficult circumstances, but only if you carefully design each program so as to maintain the motivation for hard work and success. All of these conclusions should be clear from common sense as well as from observing various societies and their history. However, our culture seems dominated by very different ideas. In the above example, many would advocate giving everyone a B, or calling off tests entirely, or having the test and then punishing anyone who got an A. This is all dangerous nonsense. Let's start replacing it with common sense.